Early March, I put out a tweet about who could Mike McCarthy be looking at the Notre Dame Pro Day. The Cowboys drafted Marist Liufua with the 87th pick overall. And now when you look at that stack, when you look at Cooper Beebe, Tyler Guyton, parlay together, I'll take that over Grant Barton. I'll take that over any of the interior linemen. And I'll honestly take that over some of the higher tackles. And then you're still able to get the linebacker that maybe you wanted another linebacker. Maybe you did. But when you talk about true upside when it comes to a guy like Marist, if you go watch the Senior Bowl tape and you go watch the practices, he just stood out. Charles Davis, who calls those Senior Bowl practices, who's this? You see the hair flying around, you see him running to the ball, you see him giving a little pop. That's Marist Liufau. Now, I'm not gonna be fake. All the tape isn't great. There's times where there's some really big misses on film. This is a guy who plays downhill, and sometimes he plays downhill so aggressive that his eyes are bad. At times, like if he reads a bad key, his eyes will be bad and he'll miss big. But Foots, the coach in me, I've always said, I want linebackers that if they're gonna miss, please miss big. There's times that I watched Damone Clark play last year, and it was like he was playing not to get hurt. He never hit anybody. That's why having DeMarvion Overshown, it was like you saw him make a tackle. It was like, wow. You see a guy who it's a crunch, it's physicalness. Then now you have Eric Kendricks. I think that a realistic world, him learning behind Eric Kendricks makes a ton of sense. It almost makes too much sense. Eric Kendricks is off the roster in 2 years. This is your Mike. You just put him right in there. He's learned. He knows how to practice a certain way. He makes all the calls. He makes all the IDs. A great world, he's a contributor year one. And I think that there's a real thing. Him being a guy who runs down on teams, because that's how he plays. He plays with his hair on fire. You guys will see the hair. It's going to be fun for fans because you go, wow, this guy really plays with his hair on fire. I say this, and I don't want anybody to go do this, but Urban Meyer said this at a clinic one time. He said the reason why Nick Bosa, why we recruited him so hard, was he's one of those players that you would have literally had to put a gun to his head to stop him from coming. That's his motor. Marist Liufau has that type of motor. His tackles for loss increased every year. He just kept getting better. The tape isn't super clean. It's not. I'm not gonna be honest. But when you watch him block destruction wise, like when he has to play force, and he'll throw his body around. He loves throwing his body around. When you watch him make a tackle, he's going to thump you. He's going to hit you. Running backs and H-backs, whoever's coming through, they're going to get hit. He plays that type of way. I kind of like the recklessness because we just haven't seen that from our linebackers for a while. So Marist Liufau to me is the ultimate value pick. I love the pick. Foots, you love every pick. I do because I think that the Cowboys they've earned the right to at least say, let us draft, let us put this whole thing together, let us hit on the back half of free agency, let us do all of these things. They've earned that right. I gotta be honest with y'all. This for everything that we went through free agency wise, you cannot tell me that this front office is not nailing this draft. And the theme of this draft, I guess I'll give it away. I'll give y'all a slight clue. They're not going to go into a playoff game and get bullied again. Not going to happen. They are not going to go into a playoff game and get bullied again. Nealon, bully, physical. Cooper, bully, physical. Marist, the hair is on fire. You got to cool him down. Cowboys fans, I'll be back tomorrow. You guys have been with me this whole draft process. I'm going to keep cranking out content. I may even go live tomorrow before the draft. I'm not going anywhere. It's your boy Foots as always. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing.